Pam Nelson, and welcome to this week's Weekly Wake Up. We're going to start this week down on the floor, just on the side. Legs together, you can be more at 90-degree angle or with the knees, or you can bring the feet in. We'll come down onto our forearm and just work at moving the rib cage closer to the floor and then away from the floor. Just to bring some mobility into the rib cage, some movement in the shoulder. With the top arm, you can even extend it up and over and come back down a few times. And then we'll swing the legs over to the other side. Moving the rib cage closer and then coming up. So you feel it almost fanning in the top and then the bottom. And then if you'd like, you can add that top arm. Then we'll come back to the center. We'll go to the other side again, to the first side. And we're going to keep the bottom leg down and come up on the forearm. Okay, top leg straight, lifting the hip up. So now we're going to get the hip coming up and down also. And we can raise the top arm. And then we'll come back and we'll swing all the way around to the other side. Top leg straight, bottom leg bent, lifting the hip up and down. And of course you can stay with the hip down and go keep with that first option. If this is too much on your shoulder, we'll come back around and come to the first side again. So now I'm going to keep the top leg straight, the bottom leg bent. I'm going to straighten the top arm. So be more on the bottom shin, top leg straight. Holding here in this plank, the top arm can extend. And then we could even, maybe reach up and lower down in this higher position. If you notice with this top foot, I'm trying to bring it into a position like you would maybe in some of the standing poses where we separate the legs apart, really trying to cut that outer edge of the foot down, lift the inner arch of the foot up, get the groin here opening. And then we'll come around to the other side, top leg straight. Coming up on the shin, the reposition till you feel stable, shoulder, elbow, wrist more or less in line, and we can lower. And then we'll come back down. Last time we go back to that first time, our first side, let's see if we can keep both legs together coming up into that plank. You might hold here, or you might see if we can lower and raise without rolling back too much there. And then we'll come down. We'll see if we can do that to the other side. Okay. Coming up, the feet stacked, top arm can be up, and we're lowering a little bit, finding that midline, feeling stable. And then we'll come back down and extend the legs to Dandasana and cross the shins. Just do a little bit of a twist to release and to the other side. We'll change cross of the legs and then to the other side. From here, we'll come up to standing. Okay, let's come into mountain pose. Stay for a few breaths. Sorry, I just have to close the door here. I have a dog that comes in, but he doesn't close the door after himself. Okay, so we're going to start center of our mat, hands on the hips, and we're going to step or jump the feet out. Keeping the hands on the hips, we're going to work on kind of pivoting on our feet, which I know we've done in some other of these weekly wake-ups. We'll go to the right, come back to center, to the left, back to center. Do that 2 more times each side, so turning all the way to the right, really getting that back inner thigh coming around, firm through the back leg, really press that back heel down, back to center, and then back. And now we'll see if we can just go directly side to side. If you need to, you pause in the middle. Okay. And then we'll come back to the center. So now we're going to get the arms in. We'll bring the arms up, can come back to center, bring the arms up and back. So this next time, we're going to see if we can just go directly side to side without that pause in the middle. Good. And then we'll come back. Now we're going to do opposite arm to leg. Okay, so right arm left, right leg, left arm, right arm, left leg. And I went directly side to side. So maybe we should pause in the middle. So opposite arm to leg. And then let's see if we can go directly side to side. And we'll come back to center. Last time we're going to do same leg, same arm. So if I go to the right arm, left hand can stay in the hip or we can swing it back and then come center to the other side and center. And then we'll see if we can go a bit faster with that movement. Good. And then we'll come back to center. From here, we're going to maybe we'll step or jump the feet back in, take our blocks. So we'll bring the blocks onto the mat here. Okay. From our mountain pose, once more, extend the arms, bend the knees, we'll step or jump out. And now we're going to keep this back foot more or less where it is. We'll turn it in a little bit and we'll swing right arm, left leg out. So I've turned a little bit to the right. I'm going to turn back, bring the hand down to the floor or block. You might need a chair. Utthita Trikonasana, come back up and then to the other side. So I know I'm turning a little bit more than we normally would in that pose at the beginning. And then we rotate back, hand to the floor or block. Come back up and let's try that. So this back foot doesn't turn in a lot, okay? Just a little bit. And you might turn your body, a little more than we normally would in our triangle pose. And then we readjust. Utthita Trikonasana and back up. And then to the other side. Good. And back up. We'll come back. So now we're going to get that opposite arm to leg. So I'm going to now really rotate that back leg, opposite arm to leg. Come down, fingertips to the floor, come back up. We'll go over to the other side and back up. So we're getting this windmill action to the arms. All the way around. You might lose your balance a little bit. And let's see if we can look up to the top hand. You might find you need the block to the inner foot to look up. Move the block back. We'll come back and around and to the floor, maybe the block to look up. Move the block back. We'll come back up. Step or jump in. Good. Okay. So from here, we're going to keep the hands to the hips. And just step your left foot behind, okay? So we kind of can go back and forth here a little bit through the hips. And then we're going to try turning all the way around. You might want to be near a wall or have a chair nearby, okay? So we've rotated, the opposite leg now is in front, and we're going to turn all the way back, okay? So just repeat that a few times. Really squeeze the inner upper legs together, that through the hips. You can see I'm on the outer edge of my feet. See if you can almost, carefully press the big toe mound's inner heel down. If that's too intense, you stay on the outer edge. And then we'll turn all the way to the other side. We'll come back to our mountain pose. So I had stepped the left leg behind, now let's step right leg behind. And we'll turn. And maybe we can get the arms in here a little bit more, helping to kind of turn back and turn back. You might lose your balance a little bit. Turning and turning back. Sometimes the mat, it gets twisted up, so it could be something that's easier to do on the floor. Okay, so that's just getting a little bit of twisting in. Now we're going to take our chair near the wall. You may not be able to be near the wall, but just want to make sure that your chair won't slide away from you. So I've brought my chair to the wall. Okay. I'm going to step the left foot, the left leg in front. Okay. And now I'm going to start to go over to the side, bringing the hand down onto the seat of the chair. So we've come back into a side angle pose, but now I've got this top leg helping to hold me up, Vasisthasana, and then we'll come up, we'll turn. So now the other leg's in front, okay? And if you can, you would bring this hand now down to the floor. You might need a chair. So I wanted to show both. You could have a chair on each side, but now we start to slide down and to the floor. That top leg can stay bent and we can look up, Vasisthasana. Really cut that out onto the outer edge of your bottom leg, press into the top, elongate the spine, looking up, and then see, we can come all the way back up. We're going to spin, become the other side. And again, here you could bring the hand out to the floor or maybe to the chair, Vasisthasana. You felt you are stable, balanced enough to, you could stack that top leg, looking up. And we'll spin all the way to the other side. And again, you could use a chair on the other side. You could mindfully, bring that chair to the other side, but you don't want to tweak your back, trying to move the chair in this twist. So it'd be better to have a chair on either side if you need a chair. And we'll slide down. You might stay here, that top leg helping, or maybe you can stack and look up, Vasisthasana. Come back, and we'll come back up. And then one last spin and back to mountain pose, okay? So again, you might have a chair on each side, or one side you go down lower, when you stay up higher. So let's try that again. Now with the chair on this side, just be careful it's not going to slide, and we'll go down lower on the other side. So I'm going to step the right leg behind. I'm going to step the left leg behind. And I'm going to go down to this left side. Okay, stay here, extend the arm. You want to watch your chair doesn't slide, so you really are pressing down. Come back up, we're turning, spinning, and then see if we can go down lower. You can stack the legs if you feel stable. Otherwise, that leg in front. Press, I'm not just pressing with the arm, I'm using this leg to come back up and spin. Adjust a little bit, and again to the chair. Maybe you feel stable, you could use the chair, Vasisthasana. Leg if you need, come back. We're spinning, right? You could do all sorts of things with your hands, jazz hands. And then we're sliding down to our side angle. And coming back up, especially from down lower. It's not just the arm, I've got to push with this top leg. So come back up and really lift that bottom hip. And we'll spin back to mountain pose. So maybe doesn't, look as fluid flowing, but it gets the brain active, thinking different scenarios, different views of the room, the spinning, different movements for some of those poses. Okay, so I'm going to slide the chair to the side. And now I'm going to take the blocks. And I want to start, a little bit back on the mat. I'll just move my mat a little bit from the wall. Get this chair out of the way. Okay, so I'm starting at the far end of my mat, but I want a wall at the other end of the mat, okay? From our mountain pose, I'm going to come forward into an Ardha Uttanasana half forward bend. Okay. And then I'm going to actually step back and come down low. So I've stepped back with my right leg. It doesn't, matter, but we can come back with the right leg. Hands can be on the blocks. You might go a little bit lower, get that spreading to the back, lower abdomen lifting up and back to the spine. Press into your blocks. So not just hanging down and pushing as if I'm trying to push away from the floor. Similar to how you might start like a race, right? To be in that position like you're about to start a race. And then I'm going to push off the back toe mounds, the back toe, propel myself forward, take the blocks with me. Straighten the legs if you can. You might need to raise your blocks up higher. It's quite a narrow stance, Parsvattanasana, but that similar idea. You could add in a little bit of a Pravrita Trikonasana. Again, the stance isn't too wide as we maybe could have it, but that idea. Okay, and then we'll come down low. Once more, pushing off that back foot, coming forward. Blocks can come forward, straighten the legs. Try to stretch even the arms out a little bit further. Blocks can be raised if needed. Bend the knees down low. One last time, we'll step forward. And then let's just roll toe heel back, toe heel back, toe heel back. Come back to our half forward bend. Repeating that, if I step left foot forward, right foot back, down low. Start to come forward. Pushing off the back toe, you might pause, add that twist, down low. Just getting that feeling of being down low, different movements when we're down low, legs straight, and then walking backwards. Toe to the heel, and really let the arms stretch as you do that. The side stretch. Okay. So this next time through, I'll start again left foot back, down low, like you're about to take off in a race. So I'm propelling myself forward with that back leg, coming forward, coming forward. Now I'm going to lose the blocks, hands to the floor. See if I can lift up into Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. We can come back down, stay for a few breaths, take our blocks, and we're walking back. We'll try that one more time, trying to kick up with the opposite leg. So I have the right foot back. Okay. Propelling myself forward, forward, forward. Here I get, lose the blocks, plant the palms. So I need to stretch that back leg, spring off the front leg. Coming back down, come back to our Ardha Uttanasana. Separate the feet, let the body hang down lower. You can stack your blocks, support the head to Uttanasana with the head supported. Hands can come to the ankles. You might be able to release down a little bit lower. And then we'll slowly come back up. Use the blocks, step in, and bend the knees here a little bit. Chair pose, and come up and into mountain pose. Good. So I worked with many different things in many different planes. Getting the side ribs in, the spine moving. The turning can be good for our balance. And the inversions, it's not only strengthen the arms, core, legs, but that being upside down